Daily Landsblog here, second in a row with this guy, Daniel Carcillo. The first one was before your speech, and you were nervous, right?
Anxious, yeah.
Yeah, how come?
Speaking in front of a room full of people is always a little bit nerve-wracking, but once you get started, you kind of lose yourself.
It's also it's what you're accustomed to. It's what you're trained for, right? Did you get nervous before games?
Yeah, I got anxious.
Really?
Yeah. Stomach. Mm-hmm.
You didn't puke,
Turning.
did you?
No.
No. You can't. Yeah, you can't be a puker. That's the worst thing.
It depends who we were playing that night.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I mean, you got up there and you're thinking, you're anxious and you're wondering, does your story resonate? And I can tell you that, people were holding their breaths, listening to what you had to say, and because they related to it. If you got up there and you told stories about being a hockey player, some people in the room would go, "Wow, it's really cool," and other people would go, "I don't really care," but you created an emotional bond with them. Do you have any idea why? I know why.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were here for a reason. I think hopefully some of the things that I said resonated. Hopefully.
Oh, no, they did. And, I want you to reflect back on one of the things that you talked about. How many times did you go to rehab?
Twice.
Right. And the last time you went to rehab was how long ago?
It was 2 years ago, 2 full years ago.
Right. And that was all part of your struggle after your career, right?
Yep.
That was all part of post-career depression syndrome.
That was 8 months of opiates, and it was hard. Yeah,
Really?
it almost took my life, for sure.
Wow, see, that's unbelievable because, when I first reached out to you, that was not long after you had gone to rehab, I guess.
That's right.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so my boy was about, a year old. My grandfather passed away. He was my #1 fan in October, so not only did I have to retire, try to transition, I had to deal with the first death in our family, and it was just a really difficult time, and I chose to numb it out instead of deal with it. So.
Numb it out. That's what people listen to. That's what people because that
They can
numbing
relate
it
to
out, everybody numbs for a different reason, but until you go get help, people will continue to numb. You can't beat the numbing until you replace it with something else.
I was talking to Doc, and one of the hardest things to do is look in the mirror, and there was some things wrong with me that I needed to figure out, and I did, so I'm glad.
Can I give you a hard time?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what the problem with looking in the mirror is? That cheesy mustache. That's
what
what you see when you
see that thin duster.
Yeah. Although it works for you, so
I had
what
to
can
keep
I say?
it for the Peel Regional Police. It's
Yeah.
actually been 2 months in the growing, so I hope they appreciate it.
Oh, for the coffers. You're awesome, and you're now part of a movement. Daniel Carcillo got a couple of Stanley Cup rings, but didn't change your life, right?
I'm glad,
The cup
no,
rings?
not at all.
What changed
Not at
your
all.
life, though, was you grabbing a hold of it and saying, hey, you know what, I got to own this. And that is the lesson that I learned. Sicknellweek.com, 24 hours a day, 364 days a year. We're here because I'm a big shot and I get access to guys like this.